I am about to become a father. I mean, yes, like a real father, but also a Furby father. Oh God. Ah yes, fatherhood, a daunting task to come. And only so many parenting TikToks, YouTube videos, and lectures can prepare you for the real thing. Though in my line of work, I do fortunately get to put a few of those techniques to the test. And then I realized that back in the 90s, we were already learning to become parents. In honestly so many different forms, like Tamagotchi, obviously various different baby dolls, but also just more and more interactive robotic pets and creatures. And of course, what was the most popular of those? The Furby. I don't know really what it was about them. Cute, ugly, creepy, mischievous, demonic. So for the next 24 hours...
We're under the control of the great Lord Furb.
Huh. Weird. But yes, for the next 24 hours, I'm going to see if this Furby can teach me how to be a better parent. And you know, it would give me a lot of encouragement as a parent if you would like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss another nostalgic video like this. And I guess we start by waking up the little guy. I gotta say, every time I make a video of one of these guys, I just love to hear the stories people had with them, which definitely leave your Furby stories in the comments. But like one so many of you talk about is how when you had one, it would start talking in the middle of the night or just wouldn't shut up, which I totally had the same thing happen to me. But really what's probably happening is something is triggering the IR sensor up here, because essentially the vision would be that once you're ready to wake them up, you can turn on the light or put something in front of that sensor and it'll wake right up. Though when they are in a deep sleep like this, no one called Furby Protective Services here, but you flip them upside down and they wake up.
What's up, Furb? Going back to sleep.
But for those of you that said your Furby would still make sounds even when it didn't have the batteries in it, well, to that I say, God help us all. And hey, maybe the NSA was onto something. Now throughout this video, I'll sprinkle in a little Furby lore, but to be honest, most of it is strung together by myself, because surprisingly, there isn't much lore behind the creatures themselves, other than the fact that these come from a place called Furby Land, which is a land located in the clouds, and we'll talk more about it in a bit. But yeah, that's really the only Furby lore I could find. Very elusive creatures, these Furbies. But I like to think that all Furbies just pray to their biblical god in hopes that one day they will reach not enlightenment, but enlongment. You see, this is a long Furby, and this is what a Furby looks like without all the fur. Yeah, kinda looking like my ex-wife. For the record, I don't actually have an ex-wife. It was just for the joke. Yeah. But all this extra skin right here, this is to help the Furby elongate into a long Furby. So Furbies live their lives to the fullest with their human companion and Furby community in hopes that one day they will become long. And as this Furby's legal guardian, it will be my job to foster a healthy, elongating environment. And I guess after that quick history lesson, I'll try my hand at the most parent thing you can do, change its diaper. Oh my God, Furby! Absolutely filthy. So I still have yet to change the diaper of a real baby, but changing the diaper of a Furby? Check. But once woken up, it was time for some grub. Now, Furbies aren't really picky eaters, but I wouldn't typically recommend feeding your Furby any human food. But I'm a cool dad, so of course I made him a full breakfast of chicken pot pie, peanut butter waffles, and some beef jerky. And once breakfast was done, it was time to fully immerse myself in the culture that is Furby. I just really gotta let my Furby understand that I understand. So we pulled up this game called Fun in Furby Land, which came out in the 90s, and maybe will give me more insight into how Furbies live. You get to customize your Furby, and then it looks like here we can interact with the virtual Furby, kind of showing off that Furbies just love to hang out. And then on to the games, which I do think gives us a little bit more of an idea of how life was like for Furby before they fell from the sky. I don't know, I haven't really made it that far in my Furby theory just yet. But Furby Lands looks like a pretty peaceful place when the weather is nice. You've got the dance clubs, the annual Furby Fest going on, though when a storm roams in, that's when it's trouble in paradise. Because it looks like their only mode of transportation to get from island cloud to island cloud is the classic propeller hat. So during a storm, Furby can get pretty beaten up with big gusts of wind, rain, and lightning tornadoes. Like, where is that Furby god when you need need him. Which I'm sure Furby is about to say the same thing, cause it's time for school. Yep, Furbies need to go to school too. Cause actually the more you play around and mess with your Furby, the more English they will speak to you instead of this. Which, what does that mean exactly? Well, let's take a look at some Furbish, shall we?
So Furby said, Kabu ai unye, which ka means me. Furby, please. And me meaning Furby. And boo means no. Furby, please. And then ai means look, see. And unye means you. Furby, would you just... All right. Now, where were we? Yes, so Kabu ai unye means me no look see you, which, you know, if we just read between the lines there, it means I don't see you. So, yeah, I'm gonna go deal with that.
And actually, while we're here, I gotta play ball with my son. Furbies just love being the ball. Though, oh, you're okay. Now, I do think I know just how to make our Furby feel a little bit more at home in this world, which definitely involves getting out of the apartment for a bit. So gotta make sure Furby stays warm, which I found these clothes for him from a seller on Etsy. The hat just makes the whole thing come together. Furby made clothes. Who knew? And looking stylish. And I have to let Furby know that I'm on their side with the Furby shirt and hat. Look, his coloring is even printed on there. And then I also grabbed this, again, custom made from Etsy, a Furby bag to carry him in. And with this look going on, I would say we're ready for a day on the town. I am not looking forward to being in public like this. And you know, I may look like a crazy person to you, and boy, do I feel like a crazy person right now. But I do live in New York, so this is actually pretty tame in hindsight. Though I did definitely get some looks on the train, but it didn't matter because Furby having the time of his life. But where are we actually off to? We are heading to a place that I've been wanting to check out for quite some time, the Museum of Nostalgia. It's a store in Queens that has tons of nostalgic toys and treasures from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, so pretty much my heaven on earth, but also a great place to bring Furby to feel a little bit more at home being from the 90s. And walk in and you are immediately greeted by these awesome displays. It's Skeletor's castle along with their neighbor strawberry shortcake, but then take one look around and this place overwhelms you with nostalgia right from the get-go, in the best way possible. With a combination of things new in box, items out of the box in great condition, and then bins and bins of random toys that I could honestly spend hours looking through. They even have some Mad Balls, which I was just looking for some older ones recently, because I just featured the new set on my page. But man, this place keeps going. All the way in the back is this wall of plushies and some arcade machines, which of course Furby had to try his hand at. And then you enter in the other side of the store with this time capsule of a room. Like, how cool is this? Showcasing some of the bigger names and nostalgic toy history. And then I found him. And of course, they became fast friends, playing some Galaxian, Mousetrap, and of course, assisting the customers with their nostalgic needs. Sending a huge thank you to the Museum of Nostalgia for letting me and Furb poke around in there. And of course, it's hard for me to leave without getting anything, and I ended up with these epic Crazy Bones keychains. Definitely hit the spot up if you're in New York. And leaving the Museum of Nostalgia really had me getting one of those proud dad moments. I mean, look at the smile on his face. So to ride that high, I took Furby to the one place where he can feel something. I was gonna say on top of the world, but if you've been to Times Square, you know what I mean. But yes, Times Square, baby. We hit up this little Korean store, which I had never heard of, though I had to get Furby out of there quick before he convinced me to buy him some of these clothes. We tried for a little keepsake in the NYC gift store, but no trophy for best Furby and no license plate that said Furby. Rude. And then you know I had to get him on the stairs, get his picture with sketchy Elmo, and just let him see what dreams are made of. And I think he had a good time, because look at him on the ride home. Man, what a day. But then I came home to another surprise. Furby had invited all his friends over. Is he like a teenager now? Like, do Furbies age rapidly? Are Furbies forever? Why are these Furbies small? What even are Furbies? But being the cool dad that I am, I cranked up the music and we all got down. But I was so in the zone that I didn't notice that all the Furbies left me alone, only to find them all flirting with the Diva Stars, which is just unacceptable, so I kicked them all out, and that led me to my first grounding as a parent. Wow, well, that made me feel terrible, so I am never doing that again. So to make up for a little parenting gone too far, I got Furby a game that I think he'll like with Dancing Furby for the Game Boy Color, which is kind of like a DDR Guitar Hero style game made for the Japanese market. And he was having such a blast playing this on a regular sized Game Boy that I even loaded it up on my mini Game Boy Pocket for him to play too. Ugh. Being a parent is hard work. Taking the time to understand your kid, along with feeding them, teaching them, keeping them happy, and making sure to keep a level head in the process, which maybe I need a few more pointers on. But really, it becomes all worth it to be able to see them grow. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.